While humanity has a clear function on this earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't just create us for a functionality and just carrying out tasks. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes something explicitly clear in the Quran about why He created us. It's more than just carrying out tasks, but rather Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا يَزَالُونَ مُخْتَلِفِينَ. Humanity will always differ with one another, as we clearly see. But then he continues and says, إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ رَبُّكَ وَلِذَلِكَ خَلَقَهُمْ. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, except who Allah has mercy on. In other words, part of Allah's mercy to humanity is when He unites the hearts of humanity, allows them to agree on a single opinion. And then Allah says, and for that, meaning for mercy, He created them. To reword, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clearly, explicitly saying, unequivocally, the reason why He created humanity is to have mercy on them. What is mercy? Why is it important to the human experience? I mean, it is so important to our experiences as a human being, as an individual, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala literally names Himself Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Right after referring to Himself as Allah, who Allah, it is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, the benevolent and the most merciful. Mercy, as per the dictionary definition, it means when somebody is in power and seeks to punish another person, but decides not to. They call that mercy. And what you find is that this definition, this word mercy, is actually not an accurate depiction of what is meant by Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Clemency is a better word, although it's still not perfect. But for the sake of its common usage, I will continue to refer to it as mercy. What is mercy? Well, mercy, from the word rahim, is so beautiful. The word rahma goes back to the word rahim. And rahim is used in two ways by the Arabs. It's used to refer to the womb, the organ in a female, the womb that houses a fetus through its development. And it's called a rahim because of certain characteristics. The rahim, the womb, is near to the mother, both physically, literally, and figuratively. That the mother is so emotionally attached to its fetus that it houses it. She constantly thinks about the fetus. She is so emotionally concerned about the well-being of her fetus that all of her routine, all of her lifestyle, what she eats, what she avoids, what she does, what she doesn't do, becomes almost exclusively based on the needs of the fetus. So you see the elements of nearness, of emotional attachment, of emotional concern, of love, of wanting good for the fetus. This is one way the Arabs used to use it. The other way the Arabs used to use it is to refer to close blood relationships, like parents, like siblings, like aunts and uncles and cousins. These are all called rahim. And the well-known term, silatul arham, maintaining ties of your rahim, of your relatives. And why are they called that? Because there's that element of nearness, and there's that element of common identity. These people are of my type. We are related. And because of that, I have certain responsibilities, certain duties to protect these individuals, even if I don't like them, simply because they are of me and I am of them. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says that He created us to have mercy on us, put all of this together. What it means is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so concerned with His creation that He creates everything around His creation, around the human being, to serve the needs of the human being. Dear brothers and sisters, have you ever once looked at the sky and understood it for what it really represents? Have you ever once looked at the trees and understood it for what it really represents? Have you ever looked and enjoyed fruits, whether it's acidic or it is tangy, or maybe it is bland, or maybe it is savory? Whatever you consume, have you ever considered what it really represents? Have you ever looked at the world and realized everything you need, everything that your senses need is all there around you? It's all there for you, managed by other than you, for your own well-being. To the extent that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put so much beauty in the world, in the natural world around us, that a person can look at the sky and just simply feel a sense of relaxation, a sense of peace because of its beauty. We can look at a tree and enjoy the greenery, enjoy the sound of the wind brushing on the leaves, and feel a sense of peace and beauty. That right there is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala communicating to us His mercy, our nearness to Him, His concern for our well-being, His protection of the human being, rahmah. And look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَرَحْمَتِي وَسِعَتْ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. Allah's mercy has reached everything. There's not a single atom in this universe except that there is Allah's mercy there. I'll give you an example. We can look at a high-powered telescope, at an image in outer space that is literally millions of light years away. And what will you find? NASA has captured images of the universe in absurdly distant distances. And what do you find? You find that in the corners of the universe, where humanity will never reach, but humanity will simply get a glimpse of, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put beauty there. So what? Why? Why? Simply so that we can know what we mean to Allah. Just let that sink for a moment. Allah has put beauty hundreds of millions of light years away so that we can look at it for a moment and find a sense of beauty and find something interesting. Isn't that truly special? Wallahi, it is special. Now compare this narrative that is trying to attract the human being so that we connect with Allah, so that we view ourselves in light of Allah, with the narrative of this universe is simply random. It is a series of causes and effects, and there's no meaning behind it. I want to go with the first one. Allah created us for mercy. He is Ar-Rahman. Allama al-Quran. Khalaqa al-Insan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Ar-Rahman, starting off by referring to Himself as the benevolent, the one who He Himself is the source of all mercy. And then He begins to show us the elements of His mercy subhanahu wa ta'ala, pointing to nature, as I just mentioned, and pointing to the Quran. Allah sent the Quran. He spoke to humanity with His literal words through the Quran, sent it to the Prophet, preserved it. So what? So that we see Allah's mercy. We feel His nearness to us. He is speaking to us, and we have permanent, infinite access to it. خلق الإنسان. Allah sent the Quran in His mercy, and He created humanity in His mercy. But individualism, as per the Western experience, has made our worldview, our understanding of the self, in a way where we do not feel that mercy. I mean, think about it, dear brothers and sisters. How many times has a minor inconvenience afflicted us, and then we begin to ask the question, why does Allah allow this to happen to me? Isn't that such a Western thing? We've all experienced it. But when you look at our brothers and sisters in Palestine, or in Syria, or in Sudan, or in East Turkestan, or in Kashmir, who are outside of the Western bubble, we don't hear the same complaints that we have in our wealth and our conveniences and our luxuries. They are still able to feel and to see and to actualize and to experience Allah's mercy, even though they are living in a war-torn area. Now that's special. That is special. What's the difference? Well, the difference is individuality that seeks to disconnect us from the Creator, or seeks to view the self in light of the creation. Well, how is mercy now understood? It is understood in light of what I want and in light of the whims and the desires of the individual. I want this, and if it doesn't come about, well, where's the mercy? I asked Allah for X, Y, and Z. He didn't give it to me. Well, where's the mercy? What's really being said in these statements? What's being said is, I am the most important thing in the universe, and Allah's relevance to me is in so much as He fulfills what I want. That's the Western paradigm, unfortunately. That is a paradigm that is void of the real understanding of what it means to be a human being, the true understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's role in the human being's life. Allah is concerned for us. But what is Allah's primary concern? Here, this point I'm getting to right now is what will inshallah help us develop ourselves, shed the skin of the pitfalls of Western individualism, and help us, shift into the Adamic, if that's even a word, the Adamic perspective of what it means to be a human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's primary concern for the human being is where they will be in the next life. Isn't this what the Prophet ﷺ teaches us? This universe, its value to Allah is less than the wing of a mosquito. It's not good enough for you. The Prophet ﷺ teaches us that this world is not a paradise. It's not good enough to be a paradise. So this isn't your reward. What is your reward? What is your success? It is Jannah, paradise, where it's complete bliss, where it's youth and no old age, where it's health and strength and no illness, where it's convenience and comfort and there are no inconveniences, where it's permanence, you never want to leave, and there is no concern of losing it. That is what Allah is concerned for or about for you. And so when a hardship comes, or when something comes that goes against what you thought or what you wanted, that is Allah's mercy. Because it is in that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows is your best chance to get to paradise and to get to the highest place in paradise. That is mercy right there, dear brothers and sisters. So when something happens, always remember, Allah has nothing to gain from putting you through difficulty. مَا يَفْعَلُ اللَّهُ بِعَذَابِكُمْ. What is Allah going to do with punishing you? What does He get out of it? Nothing. It does not increase His kingdom. It does not increase His perfection. He is perfected. He is perfection with or without the creation. What is there to gain? Nothing. But rather it's in for us so that we get paradise and so that we maximize our potential, so that we are fully developed, so that when we return to Allah on the Day of Judgment, we return to Him in the most dignified and noble way possible. And so that when we are, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, through His mercy, because of His mercy, allowed into paradise, we are in the highest place we could have possibly reached. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakumullah khair for watching. Please share this khair and let other people benefit from the lessons, and support this masjid by becoming one of its sustainers.